It doesn't take Bill Walsh to tell you Washington did not play well in Minnesota last weekend. That was a bad performance in all three phases.
Totally.
And the game, in a lot of ways, swung when the Commanders' defense let J.J. McCarthy go down the field on the first drive and get a touchdown. Okay, 7-0. We got this. Washington gets the ball, takes the kickoff, goes back down the field with a really good drive to respond. And then at the goal line, first to goal from the 4, 1 run, 3 passes, they're unable to score on that drive. And then, again, the defense doesn't have to give up a 19-play, 98-yard drive, but they do. All of a sudden, what seemed like 7-7 is now 14-0, and everything was out of control from there. Commanders offensive coordinator Kliff Kingsbury addressed the media today and was asked about the goal line sequence of plays in Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, it always does. There's 30 plays in that game. I wish I'd call something differently, and wish one of those plays would have worked, but they didn't, unfortunately. So that's, I think, the nature of a play caller. But, there weren't a lot of great play calls in that game, and that's, like I said, that's all me, and I got to get better.
All you can do is own it.
Yeah.
And he owned it.
Yeah.
I think
sometimes that's a lot easier. I think you get people trying to talk around it, and that will catch up with you. Own it, move on.
Yeah. Well, and one thing I applaud about Kliff throughout his tenure here is he is not a sugarcoat guy. I mean, hell, go back to Terry's holdout. It wasn't until Kliff kind of said on the record, it's about time for him to get in, that the thing started to really move.
Yeah.
And maybe he was just stating the obvious. Maybe he knew more than he let on. But Kliff said that, and I feel
if I'm a play call, I want my best players there when I'm calling plays.
100%.
Point blank.
Number 7, Landfill. This is just kind of, for Washington's offense to get held out of the end zone, not even a field goal, to get zeroed, hadn't happened in 6 years. Just, Kliff, what went wrong against Minnesota?
Yeah, I would say last week just, first off, need a better game plan, call better plays. It starts there. And then just the execution part consistently wasn't there. And you got to give a lot of credit to Minnesota and their defensive staff, just kind of keeping us on our heels, particularly when we got behind. They made it tough. But I think just time on task throughout this week, hopefully with those guys being back, another week of consistent practice with them on the field should alleviate some of that, and hopefully we play a crisper game.
Do you think they will be?
I don't know. You asked me, I couldn't tell you. I thought they were going to play a better game last week. That's where I'm at now. I don't know. I felt based off of that game against Denver that, okay, now we're moving in the right direction. And that completely blindsided me. So I don't have a damn clue.
Let's go to just the overall offense. The whole season's been disjointed. Nothing has seemed to go right. Kingsbury was asked about what the hell's going on, number 3.
Yeah, I would just say offensively with him, really from the spring on through training camp, just we were never able to get into a rhythm with everybody. Enough practices strung together, enough games strung together, just practicing consistently. It just wasn't able to happen. And so I think it's hard to really assess what that looked like based on just we never had consistent practice or rhythm or anything of that nature, whether he was banged up or, other guys were out.
That is true, and he's asked a question, so it's not like he's making excuses. Yeah. How real is that? Because I almost want to pull up the box score. I think it was your second year in Philly when you guys had 3 or 4 different quarterbacks and kind of just didn't the backup get hurt, and then you went to Coy, and how real is that? You keep having injuries.
It's very real, but the thing of it, you had Donovan there already, had been playing for a long time. Coy has been the backup for a long time, knew everything about it, and A.J. Philly was a young guy. Donovan, I think, played the first 6.
Donovan started. You look at you dropping 6-7.
6 or 7 weeks.
Donovan started 10 games.
10 games.
AJ Feely played 5. Coy played 1.
Well, Coy came in after Donovan. He got hurt that first game he came in against the 49ers. Then AJ went in. But you got to look at the fact of it is the same receivers, same O-line, same running backs were basically there most of that whole year. Donovan got hurt after 10 weeks, so you already had a consistency. Coy had been that. Coy is very much like Marcus Mariota, a guy who knows the offense, been there, so when you drop him in, you had no problems. A.J. Feely was the wild card. So when he went in, we didn't know what the hell to expect. But I think A.J. came in with the mindset, listen, well, and I was there telling him because I was next. Get the ball into the hands of the playmakers. You don't need to go out there and try to overly do anything and prove anything to anybody. And the offense that Andy set up there for him helped that out. It wasn't that he had to go out there and read and do everything. They made it to where he could just get the ball. And even when Corey got in, it was simplified more than it was for Donovan. You know what I mean? So the fact that what this season has shown me.
So Donovan got hurt after week 11.
So Terry is far more important to this offense and this team than they led on in the beginning.
In hindsight, now, and we could split it 50-50 blame, whatever we want to say.
Mm-hmm.
How much did they mess up not getting the Terry thing done earlier?
A lot. That's what I'm saying. It's like when you look at everything right now, you have it lets you know how important he was to the success of this team. And they tried to play it whatever way that they want, and that's what the league does. But now when you look at it, it proves he was vitally important. So
100%, man. 100%. Back to Kliff, though. A big topic has become letting Jaden run the ball and design runs. And how much design runs should be called. Is he taking too many hits, etc.? Kliff talking about design runs for the quarterback, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, we were going to be smart in some areas and try to limit any exposure if we could. But unfortunately, part of the game, and that ended up happening.
Not a lot of answer there. I mean, you can say a lot of things about Kliff coming out of that Vikings game. Jaden getting hurt again is not one of them.
He didn't get hurt running the ball. He got hurt trying to make a football play.
Chasing down a pick.
Yeah, so and I think people have to understand that because I've listened all week to a bunch of talking heads about this, and everyone wants to keep talking about him running the football. He didn't get hurt running the football, people. So, and I hear him talk about the other thing. He didn't run. He wasn't outside the pocket when he got hit in the other one. So some things can happen fluky, but we can't constantly just, talk about the same thing over and over and over again as if something changed. It didn't change. It's the same. Listen, if you get hit enough, I don't care if you're Jaden or you can be Mulata, who's 6'8", 360 pounds. You get hurt in this game. But if you get hurt in this game, the person who's doing it, calling it, has to help you out some, especially if they know your makeup. Like the little thing my coach always say, know your personnel. So that means I had a receiver named Quint McCullum who was about 4'7". Okay? And
short.
When I would lead, 4'7", the speed.
Oh, okay.
That's funny as hell. So if I threw the ball and lead it, he was like, know your personnel. I'm like, what the hell you mean by that, coach? He said, put the ball on him. He's not running down anything. But if you got Troy Toriak, try to overthrow him, and then you'll throw a perfect pass. Troy Toriak would run under anything you throw. So I began to throw the ball right at Quint. And Quint caught every damn thing. He was always open, slow as molasses, but he was always open.
Okay.
And I wouldn't lead him anymore. So in this situation, you got to know your personnel. Jaden is going to ball. And if you know that, then you got to pull some of those runs away from him and say, look, Or just, hey, throw the ball. Hit 5 and let it fly.
Well, let's be real. There was not a single designed run in the Minnesota game. And you can argue that's too little too late. You should have dialed back the design stuff earlier, months ago, whatever you want to say. I don't know that it's that simple. Listen, I don't think it's been Kliff's best year, but I don't think it's been anybody's best year.
No, I've said that from the beginning. Everybody has, like Coach Gibbs always say, everybody's playing a part in this. It's no one side, this, that. Everybody has played a part in this thing.
Kingsbury's motivation going to the Meadowlands this weekend, number 9, Landy.
I think if you're a competitor, you should be more motivated than ever after a game like that. Scoring 0 points shouldn't happen in the NFL. And for us to go out there and do that, I think all of us are chomping at the bit to get back out there and show that that's not who we are. It's just, was a bad game. And I think that is the sentiment of the offense. And so I'm excited to see how we attack the rest of the week and attack Sunday.
B, you were on good teams. You were on some bad ones, too.
Yeah.
What was your mindset going into late season two bad team games?
I want to make sure that when coach look at the film, they're looking at me and say, okay, BMitch is out there balling. He's not quitting. He's not making mistakes. Listen, you can go out in a game and an individual can be as perfect as they can be, and the overall team loses. But in the end, when they look, they're not judging you based off of what the team did. They're gonna judge you based off of what you're doing. If they can see in the plays where you're missing stuff on plays, you're giving up on plays, you're blowing assignments, you got a problem. And that my mindset was in the confines of the offense or the special teams, I didn't want to get outside of that. But every play, I'm running full speed, doing what I need to do to show that I'm not quitting. Because my mindset was, I always felt at any time I can do something to help us win. But I'm damn sure wasn't trying to pack it up and go any damn where.
No.
I saw the Cardinals like that. We playing them late in the season, and they had U-Hauls on the back of their trucks and stuff. They were ready to go. So you come to the game with your U-Haul stuff on the back, you've already given up. You're gone.
I've seen it here. I've seen teams that are done before the season's done, and they just want to get the hell out.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I couldn't help but notice reading a vibe is not always a prophetic move, but those dudes still seem locked in.
Yeah.
They were all – because when the locker room is dead, people are kind of mulling about leaving. It's not much going on. But when there's energy in there, that energy is a real thing.
Yeah.
Yesterday they were playing country music, which rarely happens. And what happens is one of the white dudes steals the aux, puts on a country song. Other guys start yelling because they're
What do you think was the white dude? Could have been Percy. He liked country.
It could have been Percy. I know who it was, and it wasn't Percy. But, then that becomes a thing, and then they all just started playing Christmas music. And at various times, listen, I'm just going to be real.
Christmas just ain't Christmas.
The Paul McCartney Christmas song is terrible. That came on. That prompted a big discussion. There are good Christmas songs.
Which Paul McCartney Christmas song?
You want me to sing it?
No, I want you to just tell me the name of it.
I don't know the name of it. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
That's enough.
That song stinks.